And hey guys, what's going on, Eurovoxers? Hello, Dominic. Hello, Alvis. Hope you guys are doing well. Hello to all you guys in the live chat. We've organized this video really quickly under a short timeline, so we all appreciate you guys joining us. And I know that it's late for some of you guys. Alvis, I know that it's midnight now over there, isn't it?
Yes, of course. Yes, it's just midnight. Yes.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you staying up so late for us. But guys, today there was an announcement. Greece, after so many rumors, it seemed like it had been months that this rumor was going on. It is, in fact, Stefania Liberakakis. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And if there are any Greek people in the chat, please feel free to let me know how to pronounce that. But yeah, so she's the artist for Greece for Rotterdam 2020. Some of you may know her as part of the group Kisses. That was the Dutch entry for Junior Eurovision in 2016, and they performed the song Kisses and Dancing. And the reason why she was part of the Dutch entry is because she's half Dutch, half Greek, by the sounds of it. So it sounds like they, obviously all the speculation was true. And now we can find out, soon we'll find out what the song is. The name of the song, I believe, is Supergirl. And it's going to be written by a well-known Eurovision veteran, Dimitris Kontopoulos, who's part of the writing team of Scream and You're the Only One for Sergei Lazarev. Also Hold Me, the song for Azerbaijan 2013. And Sharon Vaughn, who I also understand was a songwriter on Scream, as well as the song this year for Ukusaviste in Estonia. So let's see if she has two songs that will end up in the contest of Rotterdam. But for now, let's take a look at the live chat. Hello, CR7. Hello, Sarah O'Halloran. Hello, Olympic Song Contest. Nice to see a lot of our regulars here. Hello, I'm going to assume that this is Jochem or Jochem. Jochem. That sounds correct. It sounds Jochem. Thank you. Oh, it looks like you've got a selfie with Duncan Lawrence. Pretty cool. Hey Jeffrey, how's it going? Let's see. Hold on. Stefania to Rotterdam. Pretend to be shocked. But let's go to you guys. Alvis, so this was a rumor for a really long time. How are you feeling now that the rumors are true? What do you think?
Well, at least we're not so surprised.
Yeah.
My thought, she will most likely will be the youngest contestant in this competition. My only worry about her, about the song, the songwriters are very rich with the Eurovision history, very professional, and my only worry is too adult for this young girl. Will she handle the pressure about the song? That's my only worry.
Mm-hmm. And that's an interesting observation too, because you're right. A lot of those songs, when you listen to the style of it, they are quite adult, and she is only 17, so she could be the youngest participant. Of course, we won't know that until the rest are announced. I'm hearing from Jeffrey. Just waiting for this to show up. She is full Greek, living in the Netherlands. Okay, so thank you for clearing that up. And she already, according to Jochem, she already has a huge following in the Netherlands. That's good to know. And I mean, also not a huge surprise considering the Oran's a bit disappointed about the Czech Republic, so you need something to cheer him up. Don't be disappointed. Wait and see. I think it's going to be a good year for the Czech Republic, and I think that a lot of people are going to change their opinions about the song. And personally, it was my number one, so I'm very happy. What's Sarah O'Halloran saying? Any suggestions for my ideal day out with Stefania? I'm so happy. Oh, suggestions, guys. Anyone know enough about Stefania to say what to do? Dominic, can we hear you?
I hope so. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, it's perfect now. We were having some technical issues before. But Dominic, your thoughts on Stefania?
Well, she's young, she's Greek, and in the beginning I thought, well, there's a comeback of, what's her name again, from Aphrodisiac, because she looks a bit like her.
Ooh, I'm not sure you're talking about.
What's her name again? Let me see. Eleftheria, the one from 2012. You know this one? Aphrodisiac? You know the song, right?
No, to be honest, the name
No.
sounds familiar. No.
Okay.
You'll have to show me after. Yeah,
Yeah, don't worry.
I'm still kind of new. I don't have the full history of Eurovision quite yet.
Okay.
But
Okay, sorry, don't worry.
yeah.
Yeah, because she's like a, I don't know, typical Greek lady. Like, I think Greece has sent a few of these and they were quite successful. So I
Mhm.
can imagine that this is quite a good move for them to send her as the contestant for Greece. Because it's like I don't know, around 2008, 9, 10 and stuff. Greece had a big success. For example, like Secret Combination by Calliope came third. And I think she can go into this direction, like a young Greek girl singing maybe something in English, I expect, but with Greek elements. And we didn't have that like in the previous years because like Better Love was pretty modern without any Greek sounds and stuff.
Mhm.
And it was at least in the final, but it wasn't that successful, unfortunately. So I can imagine that they will try to get this Greek influence stuff back in the track, and I'm pretty sure she can deliver that. So yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Mhm. Sarah O'Halloran is wondering if it's going to be a party banger. I'm going to apologize. I'm going to try and get these comments up as much as I can, but I'm having some lagging issues. So party banger. Well, so far, all we know about the song is the songwriters, which, as we mentioned, they've done Scream, they've done You're the Only One, and the other one, Hold Me, Azerbaijan 2013. And the staging will be in the hands of Focus of Evangelinos. I haven't practiced saying the name, but I'm familiar with this one. Of course, who could forget My Lucky Day, Moldova 2018, and all the opening doors and the optical illusions and everything. That was pretty cool. And then the other thing that we know is that it's called Supergirl. So to me, this could be something that sounds like fun, right? What do you guys think, Alvis?
Yeah, sounds pretty English.
I think it most likely will be like Malta last year, like hitting like the same notes.
Mm-hmm.
Could
Yep.
be, could be not.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
think
that would be
I-
really interesting because Malta, in addition to having that youthful energy, it was
yeah.
super modern. And even for some of the contestants that participated that year, they were that was one of their favorite songs. So could you see them doing something like Michaela with Chameleon, Dominic?
Actually, yes, I can, and I would really appreciate it because I love the song and also the presentation because I think there was some negative feedback about the stage, but I thought
Mm-hmm.
the stage was amazing. I loved it, so they can really do something like that.
Mm-hmm. Connor Wells is saying Stefania is a really good performer with a growing reputation. I'm really interested to see what Greece does this year. Yeah, and other things that I've read about her is that she's also an actress. So it sounds like she is, a well-rounded performer and could be a good entertainer. Lots of potential. But let's talk about Greece in the past few years because it has been a bit of a mixed bag with some of the things that they've tried. Um, Alvis, how did you feel about Katarina Duska last year with Better Love?
I expected more, at least better support from fans. Fans were a little bit disappointed, but about how much? In which place she finished?
She ended
Like
up
24.
21st, unfortunately, which for me was too damn low. Too damn low.
it was too damn low. I think vocals was on the point.
Hmm.
Staging was quite nice. I liked it
Hmm.
with a giant ball, white ball.
Yeah, getting
Um,
some audience participation in there. Yeah. Dominic, how did you feel about Katarina Duska last year?
Well, I love the studio track, and I think her voice is amazing because it has such a unique, I don't know, sound. That was amazing. However, I think the live performance was a little bit of a letdown. It was still good,
Hmm.
but in comparison to the studio track, it was a bit disappointing.
Hmm.
However, it doesn't justify like the 21st place. I think it would be so much higher in my ranking. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's how it is. But it's interesting to see because normally Greece really benefits from neighbor votings and stuff, and it doesn't seem to help them any longer, I think. I don't know, 21st is very bad for them, and also like the years before, they haven't qualified 2 out of 4 times. So that's very bad for Greece. So I don't know.
There was a period of time where Greece was consistently reaching into the top 10 in the final. They had a reputation for bringing a lot of energy, and their songs were usually like ethnobops, right? Where they had those truly Greek elements involved, but it was something that you could dance to. And I think that with this recent generation of the Eurovision Song Contest, I think that they've been trying to find their footing once again, because it seems like what used to work for them in the past doesn't quite work for them as much. But you know, it's a new era, and you know, maybe one day, maybe it will be Stefania who is the one that you know, finds that new path for Greece. What else? What else are you guys saying in the chat? Sarah O'Halloran wants to remix her track. That's interesting. Jeffrey says, I think Stefania has more personality to carry a song like Chameleon. Also keep in mind that she's performing on home soil. Yeah, that's also true. It's interesting because she lives in the Netherlands. I believe was she born in Utrecht? Did you guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Utrecht,
All right.
yeah. Yes.
All right. So that's not just it wasn't just me who imagined that. What else? She just released a new single in Greece, according to yes, VLV97 Karens. And Orion, what are you saying? Since 2016, Greece has been on the decline. Yeah, well, so firstly, since we did mention Katerine from last year, I always take every opportunity I can to remind people that she's Canadian. So of course I was rooting for her, but not only because of that. I did really genuinely like her song, and I really just liked her as a personality. I think that maybe the thing for me when it came to the live performance was that their concept, it didn't really land in the same way that it did with the music video. To me, it felt very small on the stage, and they were using a lot of wide shots in order to in order to bring it out to the audience. So I think that might have been a factor. But then also, as the two of you mentioned, the fact that it was a song with a really strong studio version, I think that was also really hard to duplicate on the stage. And I'm thinking especially of that moment where she hits that really high note and she carries it and takes it. So like for some people, it's like a wow moment. But then I guess for other people, things kind of dropped off at that point. So yeah, it's a bit too bad. There was also another one that didn't quite live up to expectations from 2018. Someone remind me how to pronounce it. Anu Miro.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you guys feel about that one? Let's start with you, Dominik.
Okay, so a little bit of backstory. Back in 2018, I was in Australia, and I was working as an au pair. So my host mom was Greek. And yes, so we watched the semi-final 5 a.m. and I presented the song beforehand, and she loved it so much, and she translated it for me and stuff. And she was so damn sure that this one will qualify and maybe even win. And as we all know, it was a big fail. And she was so disappointed, and she refused to watch the final then in the end. So, well, anyway, so yeah, it was very surprising, actually. I wasn't expecting that, especially because it was such a fan favorite, and not just because it was Greece, but also from other people who also thought, were like, well, the song is very good. Not just like, okay, it's from Greece, so it must be good. No, the song actually was great. Plus, it was actually in the native language Greek, which is pretty good actually, because more and more songs are in English, so that's normally something very special. And I think I remember that the stage wasn't that good. The stage presence, it was a bit confusing. She had a blue hand and stuff, and no one understood it. However, like my host mom in Australia, she said that the blue hand is part of the lyrics. However, there aren't many people speaking Greek, so no one understood it basically, and that's why it was so confusing and everything got lost, and that's very sad. So I think the song deserved to be in the final, but yeah, that's how it is.
And I've heard that criticism a lot, that it was really the staging that did it in. Alvis, how did you feel about Yana and Anumiro?
About stage presence, it was confusing. Everyone hyped about. I watched top slot, many fan tops, and literally it was at least in top 10 most of times. About stage present, I don't feel she should have been alone on stage. At least some support from back dancers or something in the background. That's mostly it.
Well, that year, of course, was in Lisbon, and that was the year that they made a quite controversial decision at the time to not include LED walls. And certainly, it wasn't only Greece that was done in that year because of staging. There were quite a few others that just weren't able to bring the same energy that they normally do. And there were a lot of songs where it just felt like the performers were plopped on stage and they didn't really take advantage of the lights that were there. So I mean, it is unfortunate, but at least it seems like that song had a good impact on the fans. And because as you both mentioned, lots of people were hoping that this was going to win. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, but that's how it goes sometimes. I'm going to go to Connor Wells. He's saying, what do you think of Greece going for a young performer? And do you think it's a major risk going for a younger performer like Stefania? What do you think, Alvis?
I necessarily don't think, because what Michaela did last year, I think she is a performer. She's an actress. She can do on stage things. I don't think it necessarily will be that bad. I think support will be if songs are actually good and performance as well as good. I think she will do well.
And when it comes to age, it really depends, right? Like thinking about last year, we had a number of young performers. We had Zena from Belarus, who, she, wasn't a great placing in the final, but she still at least made it to the final. I'm also thinking, Michaela is another one who made it to the final. At least she was almost on the right hand of the side, or on the left hand of the sideboard. She just missed it by a few points. And then I'm also thinking of from Belgium. What was his name?
Elliot.
Elliot. Yes.
Elliot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's different for each person, because when you choose someone who's quite young, they might be lacking in experience, and they might not have all the skills that other performers at that age will have. But as you mentioned, Alvis, she's an actress as well, so it could be okay. Karen's is saying, for me, 2018 Greece was, I don't know, mixed feelings. Love the message, but not the song. Sarah O'Halloran says the party tunes stand up for her. Jeffrey's talking about Blanche. Yes, Blanche was another example of a young performer. Of course, she did pretty well. She came fourth in the final. But Stephen is also mentioning Christian Kostov. So plenty of examples of young performers who actually do quite well. It's just, it depends on a lot of factors. Dominik, your thoughts on Greece choosing a performer at this age?
I think it's a brave move, but I really appreciate it, because you should really support young artists like them. So as you already mentioned, there are a few examples where young performers really smashed it. I mean, Christoph almost has won this year, and I think he was the youngest participant ever, because he was the first one in 2000 and something. So I don't think you can just say, well, she is young, so she doesn't have any chance. That's just not true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good point. And yeah, again, I think it could perhaps be a bit of a bigger risk, because, the experience might not necessarily be all the way there. But in this case, we're talking about not only somebody who, is a up and coming performer, but she's also done Junior Eurovision, which to me, it seems, maybe you guys have other examples, but to me, it seems that when you've chosen somebody who has kind of graduated from junior to adult Eurovision, then they usually tend to have more or better performance capabilities. Do you guys agree with me?
Yeah. In general, you can say that. There are a few examples, like in the junior Eurovision, and then the big stage, for example, like I can't remember her name, like from Serbia last year, because she
Nevena,
participated.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there you go. She was in Eurovision twice actually, and in Junior Eurovision.
Yes.
Another example, like the sisters, the Russian sisters.
Yes, the
Same
Tolmachevi.
example. Yeah, there you
Kevin.
go.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce it. Yeah, again. So there are a few examples.
hmm Joachim is saying an interesting thing. If she wins, though, she'll be the first from the third millennium. Ah, yeah, that's true. That's true. People born after the year 2000, which is a scary thought for me. Sarah Halloran says, bring on the teens. Karen says, do you believe that Greece will have the same success like Cyprus in 2018 and 2019 by having an up-tempo dance song? What do you think, Aldis?
If all the factors combine and you see the perfect outcome, why not? First millennium winner.
I mean, it's
Potentially.
also a bit of a tall order to try and compare or try to go up to that level, because I mean, Tamta perhaps didn't live up to the hype, but it was still left side of the scoreboard, and a very established artist. And then with Eleni, I mean, she's still riding that success from coming second in 2018. She was third in the ESC Radio 250 countdown, and we're pretty confident that she's going to be up in that top 10 for a while, despite not winning. So who knows? Sarah Halloran is saying another notable teen was Eva Boto from Slovenia back in 2012.
I know.
And who competed in adult Eurovision. Is that right?
No, in the real one. I think she participated in 2012, but I think she didn't qualify. Did she? She didn't.
Hmm.
So that's not like a good example for a successful team, but at least she was a dream. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oren is saying, I feel like this year will end up being very generic because at least one song from each national final is a party anthem, and I see them getting picked because they always do well. I mean, Albania. I know it wasn't a public vote in that one, but that wasn't the case with Albania. Of course, a lot of people are upset about that as well, but they did end up going with a ballad. Your thoughts on people favoring the party tunes over other songs? What do you think, Dominic?
I don't think you can really say that in general. There are so many examples of very successful ballads.
Mm-hmm.
And like just referring to the Albanian national final, that was just a jury vote. So even though the public would have probably voted for the party song, what was the name again?
Mitana.
Yeah, there you go. Doesn't really matter if it's just jury vote, isn't it? So yeah. And I also think like a few party songs also left behind in the semifinals. So if you just check around the years, you can't really say, well, every party song is a guaranteed qualifier. There are so many examples for it. So that's not the only criteria.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to Oren's credit, I think that I do kind of feel I kind of feel what he's feeling sometimes. I know that in this case it's because of the Czech selection, so I don't necessarily agree with him that in that regard. But is it, Alvis? Is there anything to be said for the general population? Not like in every example, but do you feel like people tend to favor more the party songs, as he says, the generic party songs more than other varied types?
Of course, why not? At least if it will be some party song, of course it won't be any toilet break song. I hope so. Why people tend to party songs is just because they don't want to fall asleep and don't get bored. Because Eurovision is sometimes upbeat, sometimes ballad, sometimes that, sometimes rock. I still waiting for a rock. But I think more or less, if you don't have any party songs, that what is Eurovision?
Well, of course, to me, the right recipe for a good Eurovision show is variety. There have been years that I've watched, after they happened, where there was a lot of slower songs, and even they weren't even necessarily all ballads. They were just kind of middle of the road. They were the ones that aren't easy to categorize. But there just wasn't enough energy. So in my opinion, it just really comes down to variety. And obviously, you hope that the best song goes to Eurovision in the end when it comes to these national selections. But everybody has a different opinion about what the best song is. So who knows? But anyway, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up now. I really appreciate you guys joining us so late. For me, it hasn't been too late, so I want to communicate that I am very grateful. It's only 5:30 here. But yeah, and also before we go, I just want to mention, make sure that you guys subscribe to Eurovox. We've got lots of video content coming out. We're doing interviews with as many artists as we can, and we're also doing some highlight videos about the national selections. This week, we'll find out the song for Latvia and Australia. There will be a video for Latvia coming out where we talk in detail about which songs we like. Hoping to get one done for Australia too. And then, of course, Andy will be he'll be on hand doing all the reactions, and I know that you guys love those ones. So be sure to subscribe to Eurovox, reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
This is so slow.